With the Bulls' recent success, I can't help but notice that this unexpected team looks pretty similar to the overachieving 2019 OKC Thunder. We're going to talk about that similarities right after this.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
What is going on, Bulls Nation? So, the recent success of the Chicago Bulls unexpectedly I'm happy about it. Make no mistake about it. But I can't help but notice that there is one similarity to this young OKC Thunder back in 2019, where they won 44 games. That is at the aftermath of trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, where they were having that weird big three moment. Then all of a sudden they traded all of them. Pretty similar to what the Bulls did. We know we had Vooch. We're trying to trade Vooch, never traded. And then we let DeMar walk and then traded Zach LaVine. And then all of a sudden, here we are resurging, getting into the play-in tournament. That's not even a question at this point. I guess it's a matter of seeding. Kind of like the OKC Thunder. They acquired an old veteran in Chris Paul, expected to, just tank and be bad. But lo and behold, they won 44 games. Billy Donovan looked like a genius. And then the Bulls acquired him a year after. What a coincidence that Billy Donovan is also the coach for this team. This shows you, perhaps, that Billy Donovan is an adequate coach, right? Like, he can coach, and I would even say he can coach better when the star players who are not commanding shots are there. They reached the first round of the playoffs that year, got eliminated, but no one expected them to be there. So when the expectations are pretty low, I don't know, Donovan rises for whatever reason. Now, this is a different situation. Well, maybe a little different, because back then they also had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, a young one added. Now we have Josh Giddey, a young one added. We don't have really a veteran outside of Vooch, kind of like Chris Paul, who's managing this team. But that was a magical year for Chris Paul. Kobe White is not considered a veteran yet, but he's been in the league for quite some time. So is he having a Chris Paul moment? Maybe. He's having this resurgence after being a sixth man and all that stuff. So and we can see what the Thunder became now. It's easy to see that. What is that a result of that season? I'm not entirely sure, because they did take a step back after that season. My point being here is that they got better once they traded their star players. You need star players to win in the NBA. That is a fact. Or you need a star player to win in this game. Now, Shea ultimately became one, but he wasn't one on that season. What is the future for this team? Is there a Shea in this team? I don't know. I can't tell if Josh Giddey is a star in the making, or is he having this one-off season where, he's really efficient, shooting the ball lights out and all that? Is he a byproduct of this run and gun system? Is this sustainable? Those are all questions that needs to be answered, and perhaps it'll be answered after this season. But I can't help to notice that Billy Donovan is the common denominator between that two teams. The expectations were low after the trade. Then all of a sudden, here they are resurging. 7 or 8 out of 10 now, which is crazy. We even have a chance to be the 8th seed if Magic goes on a slump. I wouldn't have imagined that. I mean, even those guys, I think that is with DeMar and Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso. I think 8th seed was the high, or maybe it was 6th seed, the highest that we've been in. Having those guys. But one thing I know for sure, if you can't coach star players, you're never going anywhere in this league. Can you make one? Is Shea a byproduct of being a star player? Maybe, but he was still a high pick, so is Matas going to be the next Shea for us because he's a young guy who's shown a lot of potential? I don't know. I'm enjoying this Bulls team right now. They are playing hard, similar to how Thunder was playing hard back then. You got the young Lou Dort and again, Shea, Steven Adams was there. There are certain similarities. Would the result be the same? Are we going into the first round and get eliminated by the Cavs? Is that good for our future? Is there any benefit right now of going to the playoffs with this particular team? Are we sold on these young guys that, any experience would be a good experience? I don't know. If you make me answer that question, I would say I'd rather have the guy rather than have experience in the playoffs. But the fan in me is enjoying what I see right now. Man, the front office has tough decisions coming after them, but can't help but look at those two teams and say, hey, if we follow this path, and mind you, that was not a straight path. They had some down years after. That's how they acquired Chet Holmgren, because they were bad after that year. So let me know in the comments, is that the path we are headed into? And is that the right path? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.